To make use of Sennheiser DeviceHub, I can imagine there are some things to prepare up front, especially thinking about planning phase or specifying a tender, for example.
Yes, as we are talking about an application where on-site devices are communicating to an application running in the cloud.
Let's start with the Sennheiser hardware. What do I need to consider?
So we have decided not to make a hard cut from the on-site application control cockpit to Sennheiser DeviceHub. So it will vary a little bit from device to device, depending on what you're looking for. Due to technical reasons, it will take some time, as I said, depending on which device you are looking for, when it will be available and compatible with Sennheiser DeviceHub. Worst case, it might not be compatible at all. So for those products which are compatible, we have everything documented in the specific product documentation on the website.
It depends which device of Sennheiser you are looking for and check if they already are enabled for Sennheiser DeviceHub.
What is important to understand the network side? Besides connecting simply the network cable, of course. I mean, this is obvious.
So it is important to understand there are different connections. Let's start on the device. DeviceHub-enabled products also come with a local user interface, the local web UI, or we call it LUI. The LUI can be used for initial configuration and also to establish the connection to Sennheiser DeviceHub. It is available via the IP address of the device as HTTPS connection on port 443.
So no matter how your network is designed, whether control and Dante are separated or not, it's important to understand that monitoring and control rely on 3 different types of network connections. So first, there's the device to cloud connection. Then devices can be connected to other Sennheiser on-premises tools like Sennheiser Control Cockpit. And finally, there's the connection to third-party media control systems.
What IT disciplines you would kind of recommend to talk to during especially the planning phase, for example?
So network security, firewall and infrastructure teams are usually the ones you want to get involved.
Anything else I need to be aware of when talking to customers IT, which they may ask me?
Yes, it's important to remember that all device communication is secured using TLS or SSL, and specific outbound ports are required for cloud connectivity. Since Sennheiser DeviceHub relies on Microsoft Azure IoT Hub to connect to devices, HTTPS port 443 must be open to enable device connection, enrollment, configuration, and also monitoring.
Beside the port configuration, there are URLs contacted during the enrollment.
Not easy to remember, right?
True, and for that we have a device type specific cloud connectivity guide available via our website, providing all the information needed.
So simply keep in mind to hand out that documentation.
Thinking of customers who have already Sennheiser products installed, but now adding new devices which are only supported by the Sennheiser DeviceHub. Is there anything I need to consider?
The first devices compatible with DeviceHub will be the Team Connect bars, followed by the new TCC-M+. Generally speaking, it is important to remember that you need the right firmware on your device to be able to connect to Sennheiser DeviceHub. So for already installed TC bars, you need to do the firmware update via Control Cockpit. As usual, to update via the Control Cockpit update server, you need internet access. If that's not possible, what you can do is you download the firmware upfront and then upload it manually into Control Cockpit. Once the update is complete, you can start the enrollment process for DeviceHub. As part of that, you need to enable the cloud connectivity in the local web interface. This is, due to security reasons, not enabled by default.
We are doing investigations per device and looking towards some additional tools to add existing devices into Sennheiser DeviceHub, which might not even be capable of supporting a local user interface on the device. Our recommendation is to reach out to our technical experts and the customer support teams in your region. They are always up to date and will provide guidance if needed.
Is there anything else I need to consider up front?
Yes, there's just this one last thing. Of course, you need to create an account that was also mentioned in the product overview.
Yeah, right.